In the next few slides, we will discuss two learning objectives. The first one is topics commonly covered in the introduction, body, or close of reports or proposals, and the other one is writing for websites and Wiki. Okay, in this slide, we will talk about drafting report content. And there are three main sections here: the introduction, body, and closing. So let's go for each and every one of these. Now, normally in the introduction section, this is the first section in the text of any report or proposal. What it does is it puts the report in context for the reader. It introduces a subject, it previews the content, and also this establishes the tone of the document. The next one is the body. The body of the report presents, analyzes, and interprets information gathered during your investigation, and it actually supports your recommendations and conclusion. The last one is the closing. The closing is the final section in the text of a report or proposal. Closing normally emphasizes your main points, summarizes the benefits that you presented in your proposal, and the courses of action. It puts together your proposal or reports in one place. So in this particular slide, I'll be talking about helping your readers find information. There are three focus here. The first one is using headings and subheadings. The second, employing transitional devices, and the last one is providing previews and reviews. Now, in the first one, using headings and subheadings, we have actually gone through this in the previous chapter. We mentioned that the use of headings and subheadings gets the focus of the reader or audience. Now, just briefly, headings and subheadings are brief titles that cue readers about the content of the section that follows. So the use of this actually improves the document's readability and are especially useful markers for clarifying the report framework, what comes next, or how the proposal is being done. Also, busy readers can actually quickly understand the gist of a document they're reading simply by scanning the headings or subheadings. The next one, employing transitional devices. Transitions, as we mentioned, are words or phrases that tie ideas together. They actually show how one thought is related to another, and it helps readers move from one section of a report to the next. Now, depending on the length of the report, such transition can be words, it can be sentences, or complete paragraphs. So it depends on the report that you are actually preparing. The last one in here, reviews and previews. Using a preview section to introduce an important topic helps readers get ready for the next information or a new information. Previews are specifically helpful when the information is complex or unexpected. So they want to find out what is this so that they can be well aware in advance. Okay, this is a hard topic, therefore I need to put focus on this. Review sections come after a body of material and summarizes the information for your readers. Reviews actually can help readers absorb information while keeping track of the big picture. So this is helping readers find information. Now, the next slide, using productivity tools. So firstly, make the process as easy as possible by taking advantage of all available productivity tools. Okay, there's so many out there, so we can actually take advantage of them. For example, the size and complexity of any report, of a lot of reports, make templates and style sheets particularly helpful. So the use of style sheets, template, right? It makes the audience what is this, easy to find information, let's say, and easy to read. Yeah, so just quick tips. If you do intend to include graphics, spreadsheets, or database records produced in another programs, just make sure you know how your writing software handles the information, the file connection. Yeah, because if you don't, it might the content of our report might get very disrupted. So video clips, animation, presentation slides, even screencast, recordings of online activity, and other media elements can enhance the communication and persuasion powers of the written word. Now, this slide talks about drafting proposal content. Now, report writing guidelines apply to proposals as well. Yeah, but proposals in particular have other unique considerations. The general purpose of any report is to persuade the readers to do something, right? We have mentioned this, we have talked about this. Now, your proposal must be able to sell to your audience on your ideas, the ideas that you are presenting, whether it's a product, a service, methods, or even probably setting up a company. Yeah, so in here, one recommended ways to do this, to get to sell this idea, right, is to use the IDA plan. So we discussed that IDA stands for attention, interest, desire, and plan, or action plan. Yeah, so now what this does to the readers is it actually indicates that you are demonstrating your knowledge about the subject. Therefore, this actually leads to credibility, provides examples and information, yeah, research a competition, and so forth. So the use of IDA actually is a good idea when it comes to putting together content of your proposal. Now let's talk about the introduction to a proposal. What actually is the content in here? What are we gonna focus on? Yeah. So again, like in a research proposal, is more or less the same. Background or state of the problem. So what we need to do in here is briefly review the situation at hand, establish a need for action, and explain how things could be better in unsolicited proposals, convince readers that a problem or an opportunity exists. Yeah, so this is written in the problem statement. And the next one, propose solution. What we need to discuss in here is briefly describe the change you propose, highlighting your key selling points, the benefits to show how your proposal will solve the reader's problem or the audience problem. The next one is a scope. Scope basically stating the boundaries of the proposal, what you will and will not do. And the last one is proposal organization. So basically informing the reader the remaining details of the proposal, and as well as calling attention to the major divisions in the proposal. So basically it's a recap. Yeah, so this is the introduction. Now the next one is on the body of the proposal. So what we normally cover in here are facts and evidence, proposed approach, work plan schedule, qualification statement, and another last one is a proposed cost. So facts and evidence, what do we actually put in here? So we provide actually complete details of the proposed solution, and as well as anticipated results. Yeah. So proposed approach, what we normally write in here, we describe the concept, yeah, the product or the service, whichever it is that we are trying to solve. We stress reader benefits. We emphasize any advantages that we may have over competitors. So in here also we need to convince the audience. You need to convince your audience that what you're proposing is of prime importance. So all these are done in the proposed approach. The next one, work plan. Work plan, in here we normally describe how you're going to describe how you will accomplish what must be done, unless you're providing a standard of the shelf item, so that's a bit different. But what you will do in here is you need to describe how you actually is come about with the result. Okay, how we gonna accomplish the result. Explain the steps you will take. Here is very important. Their timing, the schedule, the work plan schedule, the methods or resources you will use, and the persons responsible as well. State when work will begin, how it will be divided into stages, and when you'll finish, and whether follow-up will be needed. So all these are you will have to describe in the work plan schedule. Qualification statements basically describes your organization's experience, in handling such a proposed ideas or concept. It also indicates the experience of the personnel who will be handling the project or the proposed concept, and as well as the facilities. Yeah. Okay, and finally the proposed cost. What you need to include in here, you need to prove that your costs are realistic. Break them down so that the readers can see the cost of labor, for example, materials, transportation, travel, training, and other categories. Okay, so this is what's normally described in the body of a proposal. So in here, this slide is we're discussing the close of a proposal, right? So these are the what I'll be going over each and every one. So the first one, the first here is review your argument, review readers' benefits, your approach, your qualification, and decision. So in the close of a proposal, normally the content are these. So in the first one, reviewing your argument, what actually you briefly do is to summarize the key points, bring back audience attention to the importance of the proposal. What is importance of proposing your idea? Yeah, so we do this here. The next one is the readers benefits. What you need to put in here is to summarize your proposal to the audience. What are the benefits? So you do this in a summary. And approach, again, summarize your approach. Okay, this is very effective. How you talk about how your approach can be very effective compared to another. Yeah. So the next one, your qualification. So this is summarizing why you and your firm should do the work and not another firm. Yeah, so you need to emphasize that, okay, we are capable and whatnot. So the last one in here is the request for a decision. So we need to bring back to the audience attention. Okay, now we have laid out all this in our proposal, therefore we will need to have your decision on this. Okay, now this is the second learning outcome of this chapter, writing for wiki websites and wikis. So in addition to standalone reports and proposals, sometimes you may be asked to write in-depth content for websites or to collaborate on a wiki as well. The basic principles of report writing apply to both formats, but each writing for websites or wiki do have some unique characteristics or considerations. Yeah. So drafting website content, how do we do this? What normally is to be done. Okay, so there are 6 elements here actually that will help us draft effective online content. Now, since some readers can be very skeptical of online content, we need to build trust. This is the first thing. Build trust with the audience. What you have to do is to make sure the content is accurate, yeah, it's reliable, is current, complete, and authoritative. This basically tells that, okay, I know what I'm doing. Okay, so this information are reliable. All right, so building trust with the audience. Now the second one, adapting to a global audience. This can be quite complicated, difficult to do, and can be quite expensive as well. Some companies compromise by localizing the homepage and the key secondary pages while keeping the deeper or more detailed content in its original language. So again, having people to do this and having to be very detailed about localizing the homepage can be quite difficult, but it's doable. Now the next one, create reader-oriented content. This is crucial to success because whenever possible, use the inverted pyramid style. That is inverted pyramid style. We mentioned this again in the previous discussion. We cover the most important points first. Okay, bring the audience attention. Okay, these information are important. The rest are important as well, but we need to focus on this one first. Okay, cover the most important information briefly first, then gradually reveal the remaining details. The next one, concise, skimmable format. Now, effective websites use a variety of means to help readers skim pages, such as a list, okay, colors, boldface, whatnot, providing information headings and useful summaries as well. So all these can be attained within just a click. So the need to provide compelling reader-oriented content is very important. The next one is include effective relevant links. Okay, now we do not want any broken links in our wikis or website, right? So now composing effective links, since they serve for both site navigation and content skimming. So we need to clearly identify where a link will take readers. Yeah, so it's very easy to just delete or to click the X to close the page. Yeah, so if readers are not able to get what they want, or what's presented in the website, they will just I for one will simply click the X button. Okay, so now the next one, creating a living website. Make your website a living document. So how we do this, tips on how you're going to do this is by adding fresh content and deleting content that's either outdated or no longer relevant to your audience. So this is how we basically creating a living website is basically done. Yeah, so this is our discussion on drafting website content. Okay, now this is the last slide of for this chapter, contributing to wikis. Now I'm not going to go over in detail as to how we can contribute to wikis and collaborate on wiki and things like that, but I would like you to watch a video. Okay, it's a YouTube video that, on the startup the beginning of Wiki, how Wiki or Wikipedia first came about, and so forth. So this is very useful in understanding Wikipedia, wikis, and how we can contribute to this. So let's watch this video.